Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Lisa Warner.
Imagine being 2 years old and your mom has just put you to bed, tucked you in. As you're laying there, your eyes close and your consciousness begins to drift. And you find yourself floating in this space. No body, just you, your consciousness, in this space that is filled with light, this beautiful golden light. No matter where you look, there's just light. And you know that this space has no boundaries. There's no end. This space is eternal. This space is infinite. And not only is this space filled with this beautiful golden light, it is also filled with love. This unconditional love that is all pervasive, it's everywhere. This space is alive. There's no one else in this space, yet you're definitely not alone. You are one with this space. And from this space, you know that this is the space where all life comes from. This is the space that is alive always and eternally. And from this space, you can turn and notice that you have a body on earth. And as you look at earth, you see that earth is not in this space. This space of love seems to have been forgotten by humanity. Humanity is fighting wars over whose God is better than whose, from which religion. And in this space, it's clear that God has been created in the image of man, that there is no man here in this space. There is no father in this space. This is just the space of love and life itself. This space is clearly the space that humans are taught is heaven, but it's not a place. It's not the land of milk and honey. It is this space of life and love itself. And you see that on earth, something has gone terribly, terribly awry. And you see that the earth was created from this space, that all life on earth was created from love. That the earth herself was created with everything humanity needs to thrive and to live. And yet humanity is now working for something called money, to earn money, to buy food and shelter that is given freely from the earth. And you see that there you are in this little body on earth. And you don't really quite know what to do with that. You see that those who had come before, who remembered this space and tried to help humanity remember this space, had been exterminated, quite violently, usually, by the powers that be, these dark forces who, for some reason, didn't want humanity to remember this space. Because it seems that when humanity remembered this space of love, they started to feel better. They started to be able to stand in their power. They stopped being able to be controlled. And at 2 years old, you realize that, I know this space. It must not be safe for me to know what I know. I don't want to be exterminated. I haven't even started living yet. So I made the decision that I would forget this space, that I would go into the programming, that I would just try to fit in. I would try to do what was required. I would try to follow the rules. I would try to be a good little girl. And it worked for a while. I found figure skating, thank goodness, because at least on the ice I could just be myself. I didn't have to worry about too many rules. I could just do my thing in my body and feel free gliding across the ice. And I became really, really good at that because I spent a lot of time there because it was the only space that I could feel myself. And then when I went as high as I could go and I got my gold medals, there was really nothing left to achieve in figure skating at that time. So then I was told, now it's time you got to go get a job. You got to go make some money. Well, what am I supposed to do? Like, what kind of job am I supposed to have? And why am I going to just make money? Like, I just wanted to be outside. I just wanted to play. I just wanted to live. I didn't want to have to go earn a living when I was clearly already living. But I wasn't really living. I was just surviving. So that started the long line of jobs that I had, a long line of doing the right thing, trying to find something that fulfilled my soul. But the whole time, my living life force energy was just being drained. I was struggling. I was always in debt. I was always working all the time. And the more I worked, the more I struggled. The more I struggled, the more depressed I got. The more depressed I got, the worse my body became. Until finally, I was just an empty shell of myself. In a body that I didn't even like anymore. This body that had been so great to me that whole time figure skating did anything I wanted it to do. Now, I couldn't even relate to it anymore. Until finally one day I found myself facing cancer. And that, my friends, was the saving grace. Cancer was the blessing that I needed. Because cancer was the thing that I said, I will never do this. This is not going to be my reality. I cannot make this the end of my life. And so I realized at that moment that I couldn't go down the medical route because that was actually the route of cancer, because that's how everybody does cancer, right? That's the mass consciousness. We go and we do chemo and radiation and pharmaceuticals, and then we eventually reach remission. I didn't want remission. Remission is just waiting for it to come back again. I didn't want it to come back again. I wanted it to be gone forever. I never wanted to worry about it ever again. So I knew I couldn't go that route. I knew that I needed full-on healing. I needed my life back. I needed my body back. I needed myself back. So I knew the only route that I could take was inward. So instead of going out and trying to find all the answers out there, I sat myself right down in my little apartment, and I started to ask, what do I need to know in order for this to change? And the first thing that came was, you need to go back to being 2 years old. And you need to go back into that space. And you need to reconnect to the space of oneness, because that's where all your answers are. So that's what I did. Every day I sat down and I asked the question from, how do I get back into the oneness? How do I get back into the oneness when I'm struggling and I have this cancer thing and I'm so scared and I don't know what to do and I have this enemy lurking around my shoulders? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Stop thinking, stop thinking. So I started to just breathe. I had to get the thinking to stop. I had to get silent. I had to go into the stillness. And as soon as I reconnected to the stillness, you know what the stillness showed me? Hey, Lisa, your body's not being attacked by some killer disease. Your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do, given the circumstances you've provided it. And in that moment, I knew that was true. I knew there was nothing wrong with my body. I knew that my body was functioning exactly the way it was designed to function. And I knew that that cancer was an illusion. And instantly the fear went away. Instantly the entire idea of cancer and disease went away. And immediately I was able to start reconnecting to my body. I started to trust my body. I knew that my body knew what to do. So I got quiet. And I started to ask, how can I support you? Dear sweet body, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you. I love you. Thank you. I'm willing to trust that you know what to do. I'm willing to trust you, and I'm willing to trust me back to health. It wasn't a quick and easy route, because there was still a lot of stuff going on inside. But I did heal. I didn't use doctors, didn't use pills, didn't even use special diets. I just reconnected to the oneness inside. And everything started to come back into alignment. And when we look out at the earth and we see that the earth has been disconnected from the oneness, this is the time in human history where it's time to reconnect the earth back into the oneness so that we can have heaven on earth, so that we can all heal together, so that those powers that be that don't want us to reconnect lose their power. They can't keep us disconnected as long as we choose to reconnect. And it's through each one of us reconnecting inside to the oneness that we start to lift the earth back up into the paradise she's designed to be. This is the Great Awakening. This is the shift of consciousness, where we realize that we're not mere humans, we're not merely mortal, we're not mortal at all. We are grand beings of light in human form, and we are here to transform the earth. We're here to give her her life back as we each take our life back, so that we can all live together on this incredible planet, and we can enjoy all of the beauty that is here for us together. Will you join me?